so we should be very careful, and we will have to go for the ASO titers when the rising pattern is more suggestive. Group A streptococcal antigens detection tests are specific, but they are not very sensitive. Anti-streptococcal antibodies usually reach a peak titer at the time of onset of rheumatic fever and are more useful. The types of anti-streptococcal antibodies include ASO, anti-deoxyribonuclease B, anti-streptokinase, anti-hyaluronidase, but most commonly is used the ASO, and it is found in about 80 to 85% of the patient. The sensitivity of ASO titers is 80%, and the throat culture swab is 25 to 40%. So most of the time we use ASO titer. CRP and ESR, they are usually elevated, and they are helpful in monitoring the disease activity. And the synovial fluid assessment shows a sterile inflammatory swell. This is the way we take the throat swab culture. Treatment strategies can be divided into management of an acute rheumatic fever attack, management of the current infection, and prevention of further infection and attacks. Upon diagnosis, dose of IM benzathine penicillin or oral penicillin or erythromycin or cephalosporin for 10 days is recommended to cope up with the acute infection. Anti-inflammatory effect for the carditis and pleuritis is the high dose salicylates, usually 950 to 100 milligram. It induces dramatic clinical improvement, but we should look for the side effects of salicylates. We continue the salicylates for about 2 to 4 weeks in the same dose, and then gradually taper it off over 4 to 6 weeks, looking for the signs of in remission. Corticosteroids should be reserved for the treatment of severe carditis, that is CCF or showing cardiomegaly on chest X-ray. And the prednisone is usually used, that is 2 mg per kg per day, and it is usually tapered after 2 to 4 weeks and reduced by 25% each week. With addition of aspirin, the dose is reduced to 0.5 mg per kg per day. In extreme cases, IV methylprednisolone may be used, and diuretics, ACE, and digoxin can be selected as needed to control the cardiac symptoms. And for chorea, haloperidol or phenobarbital. Now, prevention is very important in this case, and it has been successful in developed country, but we are still trying to cope up with the problem. The American Heart Association Committee on Acute Rheumatic Fever recommends benzathine penicillin at 1.2 million units IM every week, and in high-risk situation every 3 weeks. And high-risk situation is that when the patient has rheumatic heart disease and has been having rheumatic recurrent pharyngitis infection. So in underdeveloped countries, the prophylaxis should be continued as 5 years after the first attack, then indefinitely in patients with established heart disease, and indefinitely in patients who are frequently exposed to streptococci and are difficult to monitor. So this is what, and if the patient has migratory polyarthritis pericarditis, so penicillin prophylaxis should be considered. The recommendations for duration of prophylaxis as a general is that the patient who has rheumatic fever with carditis and residual heart disease 10 years after the last episode, or at least at the age of 40, which is the longer, whichever is the longer. Then if the patient have carditis but there is no residual heart disease, then 10 years or well in the adulthood. No carditis, then 5 years, or till the age of 21, whichever is the longer. Now, if the patient does not fulfill the criteria of rheumatic fever, but the patient had a history of streptococcal infection before the development of arthritis, we label this patient as a case of post-streptococcal reactive arthritis. And it is predominantly associated with group A, but group C or group G streptococcal infection can also result in that. Peak incidence is usually, they have bimodal peak incidences that involves 8 to 14 and 21 to 37 years of age. Clinical features, the